Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Movie Deputy Reviews, where we are interrogating movies for their plot and content to try to help save you time, money, and sanity. Because honestly, some of these movies, it's like it's up, it's down, it's round and everywhere else it goes. So, it's like where it stops, nobody knows. Even me some days. It all depends on the day. So, but that's half the fun of it. So, I am back, and it is 2025. This was 2025 yesterday, and it's going to continue to be 2025 for 364 more days. Wow. Some days my brain just goes, tilt. But that's life. Today we are going to be talking about the first of three movies in a series. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 with these, and the newest one is just been recently out in theaters. So I hope you know which one I might be talking about. It has to do with a little bit of little blue guy who tends to run really fast. No, I'm not talking about a Smurf. If you are not familiar with who I'm talking about, maybe like the Sega. It's like whenever you powered up your old Sega. This is like one of the most popular games back in the day for the Sega and the Sega Dreamcast and the Sega, all the different Sega consoles that came out back in the day. And so this little hedgehog has kind of made a big imprint on people. So, but it's not so much about that, but it's about like where he went, what he started from. And the game, it's awesome to play. It's like here, if you speed through, you go through, you collect all the rings, and you get through, and you got to defeat Dr. Robotnik, or as he's commonly known in the video games as Eggman. And if you're not familiar with the game, it's because it's one of the like metal costume robot things that he's built that he fights Sonic in. It's kind of shaped like a giant egg, so that's why he's called Eggman for those of you who are not familiar with the game. So it's just kind of a little tidbit of information there. But so on this one, the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie came out in 2020. And I did give it an innocent rating. I also gave it a score of a 6.5 out of 10. And like I've mentioned before, and I'll mention again, I am so far behind on some of these reviews. I wrote on the thing on Movie Deputy, our review is coming soon, and like I said, I got busy, and I'm not making excuses, but I'm coming back to this now. So I don't have an original review to share with you that I had originally written for this, but I did just throw together a blurb like 5 minutes before I started recording on this. So I want to share that with you real quick. Sega started a journey that would go beyond the console to the big screen. This blue hedgehog would spin and speed into our living rooms and our hearts. But we never got to know his story. This movie shares with us where he came from, what he's here for, and where he will go from here. Let's find out together. I'm just thinking, the whole, like the old gameplay of like when you're here and you're pushing the buttons and you get him spinning super fast, he goes, gets all the rings until he crashes into something, and then he loses all the rings. And the rings play a big part in this movie. We see his home planet where he's from, and we see his mentor, let's say. It's a giant owl. And this owl is trying to guide him and just trying to direct him on where to go. And there are some creatures after Sonic, and so the only way to escape them is to use the rings to travel to somewhere else. And his mentor sends him to Earth via some of the rings and gives him a bag of rings and tells him how important that they are, and that's basically all he has. He has to be extra careful not to lose them. And if you remember the game at all, the whole collecting the rings is vital to everything that he does in the gameplay, and it's just as vital to what's going on here in the movie. But when he gets to the planet, he doesn't understand really anything going on here on Earth, and so he kind of creates his own narrative of people, because he like one of the people that becomes his best friend, he calls him Donut Lord, and he's actually the sheriff of this local little town up in Montana. There's a lot of fun, a lot of jokes, but Sonic is just a kid. he's just a child and he's got to learn and he's got to grow. Except the fact he's doing it all on his own because he doesn't want to be seen by these humans and he's somewhat afraid of them and he's worried that they're going to be afraid of him. And there's one particular human who has seen him, but nobody seems to believe the old kook in town that has seen the blue devil. And don't worry, I mean, there's nothing like I said, I'm giving this an innocent rating, so don't take that too much to heart on that one. But he ends up like running across the sheriff and how they kind of interact, and they're both kind of freaked out by each other. And what happens is they end up forming a friendship, and eventually that becomes his family. Don't worry, you know me, no spoilers, no spoilers. But there's just so much more to this because it's not just about Sonic, but there is somebody from here on the planet that wants to harness the energy of this strange blue creature. And in doing so, he wants to do so to power his machines, and he sees this as an unlimited source of power. And that is Dr. Robotnik. And just kind of how this all plays out. It's, if you've ever a fan of the game, this is one that you're going to want to check out. Even if you're not a fan of the game, this is it's just a cute movie. It's a fun movie. It will leave you smiling. It will leave you maybe scratching your head a little bit. There's, like I said, there's nothing over the top or anything outside of what just you would think of. And after everything is all said and done, it seems like the story seems to wrap up, it kind of leaves you on a bit of a cliffhanger. But you've got to stick into the credits because there's another bonus scene that you don't want to miss out on that does at least hint that there could be more to the story. Well, obviously now that we are now in 2025, oh, that sounds so weird to say, that we know the story did continue from there, not just one, but two other movies beyond that. And is that going to be the last that we see of Sonic and Dr. Robotnik and them? You know me, again, no spoilers of that at all. But like I said, if you were ever a fan, or even if you aren't, this is just, it's a cute movie that you don't have to be a geek to enjoy it. So, and I mean a geek in a positive way. I call myself a geek and a nerd and kind of all of that with that. I hope you are actually liking some of the new way that we're setting this up with this review is actually going live on the 2nd on YouTube, but it's coming to you on the morning of the 3rd. So I'm really hoping that you're enjoying some of our new format changes with things like that, and the whole new little blurb thing I'm doing on ones that I didn't have a pre-recorded or pre-written out review to read to you and stuff and share with you on that. But as always, I hope you know which buttons to push to always get the latest and greatest Movie Deputy content. I'm having a lot of fun with this, and I hope you are too. This year is just getting started. Let's make it a good one. Bye-bye.